Now that Rebecca Kadaga'S chapter as Speaker of Parliament has dramatically ended, debate has turned to what could be her next move, options on table, and how she picks up her political career back up. First, Kadaga is advised to accept the defeat and try not to build a mountain out of it.
No, the best option is first to deal with what happened. That it has happened, you accept it, that it has happened, and don't begin to build something out of it.
Being on opposition in Uganda, if you are coming from within the NRM, the experience has shown that you don't do very well so far.
But what then becomes of once Uganda's third top most powerful individual in the political arena?
I think it would be a great gesture on the part of the NRM government and party to honorably retire her or honorably repost her into another position, because it's not a good idea for the party to eject its own people.
Agria War, former Minister for Information and Technology, says Kadaga should now focus on rebuilding her relations.
And I was more or less a de facto opposition leader, and eventually I joined the government. And I found her amenable, useful, knows how to control the situation.
To Ogenga Latigo, loss of power is a hard and tough reality to take in, but adds that it should be a lesson that none should assume being the most important.
The problem with all of us is that we overestimate our roles in a country. A country is a very big entity.
Many with such experiences, like former Prime Minister Amama Mbabazi, who went ahead to define party positions, have often failed to make it again on the political scene, only surfacing after rebuilding their relations with the party principal. Shamim Nabakoza, NBS, Live at 9.
Thank you, Shamim. Now it emerges that the bigger number of the opposition MPs struck a deal to support Rebecca Kadaga in exchange for the deputy speakership role that would go to Yusuf Nsibambi. FDC's Treasurer General and Toro County Legislator Geoffrey Ekanya revealed that the opposition strategy, however, leaked, allowing the NRM to deploy a counter strategy.
So,
the dust must have settled, but the echoes of the nasty campaigns that defined the speakership race rages on. Speaking from Parliament, Tororo County MP Geoffrey Ekanya now says the opposition had sacrificed Semuju out for Kadaga.
Our strategy was to have Kadaga and then have a deputy speaker as the Honorable Sibambi. But NUP also wanted to present a candidate. The NUP candidate was withdrawn yesterday, just a few minutes to nomination.
He says consideration was being made to grab the deputy speakership role as they sacrificed Semuju.
When we realized that the FDC candidate, Honorable Sibambi, had a religious relationship with the Honorable Sereko, we also wanted him to step down. There we failed. And also, we realized that our campaign strategy had leaked, and therefore people opted out that now the only way out was try to negotiate with the NRM so that then we would have a win-win situation.
Kibanda North Member of Parliament Linus Ngompek, who was a core member of the Olanya and Anita campaigns, speaks out about the behind the scenes of the campaigns.
We started this idea in February, immediately after our elections of members of parliament. We came together as a group of young people and hatched this program of doing underground mobilization. We started engaging, especially the new MPs, the young ones, who liked our idea.
He says their victory was a result of a better strategy.
He got to know about our movement in April. The strategy we had, because for us we were basically using the guerrilla type of mobilization, whereby on space you're not visible, but underground you're more visible.
As the ruling party waited for guidance from the party organs, intense lobbying went on, with each side lobbying to have their candidate spared by the Central Executive Committee. Kadaga appeared to have made many enemies among her SEC peers, a factor that led to her technical knockout. Speaking from Kololo ceremonial grounds, the president let the cat out of the bag when he narrated how he played his cards. He appears to have broken the backs of pro-Kadaga MPs, including those from the opposition. The campaigns also saw the sides trade insults, face off several times in what threw decorum to the bus.
We exchanged a lot of words and all that kind of thing, as you know, politics can be. But eventually, God was on our side.
Different groups and factions which was there could tell you that different groups would have different ideas, to the extent that it can bring even conflicts and division amongst the people.
He knows how to reach out. I can tell you, Honorable Jacob Oulanyah is one of the few MP or people in leadership who reached out to every MP immediately after election.
Sabit Joseph, NBS Live at 9.
The actions of the former Speaker of the 10th Parliament, Rebecca Kadaga, to contest for the speakership race against the decision of her party could see her face the party's disciplinary committee. Kadaga went against the two decision-making organs of the NRM, the Central Executive and the Parliamentary Caucus, to compete with the party flag bearer for speakership. Victoria Bagaya has more.
My party, the NRM party, has opted not to give me the party flag for position of Speaker of Parliament.
Rebecca Kadaga'S bold move to run for speakership against the decision of the Central Executive Committee to have Jacob Oulanyah as the preferred NRM candidate is one that sent shockwaves and one that may come at a cost. For now, the National Resistance Movement in NRM awaits to decide on what Kadaga'S fate will be.
The party constitution, which establishes SEC, states that SEC is the one that, makes the policy decisions. And once those decisions are passed, every member of the party is bound.
Oscar Kihika, the NRM Director Legal, says Kadaga defied both the Central Executive Committee and the Parliamentary Caucus, which are the two decision-making instruments of the party. Kihika says Kadaga may face disciplinary action.
Depending on the gravity of the action taken, the disciplinary committee can decide to reprimand you, give you a warning, suspend you, and even dismiss you from the party.
Despite the circumstances behind this NRM unwritten rule, Kadaga constitutionally did not break any rule in contesting against the NRM candidate. Nevertheless, it raises questions on what this means for Kadaga and the NRM.
The parties would be loath to lose a person of Rebecca Kadaga'S qualities. Okay, she's done outstanding work, I must say, on behalf of the party. That said, there is nobody that is indispensable.
If you choose to play your politics under a political party in a multi-party dispensation, then you should subject your will to the will of the party. So I would have expected Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga to go by what the party organs pursued, because she has been a beneficiary of the same for the last 20 years.
Gerald Kaleja, a political analyst, says this questions the extent Kadaga believes in the multi-party dispensation or a desire to launch her own political career.
Or is it now time that she feels she's mature enough to run for presidency or run and start her own party?
He adds that it's high time the NRM reflected on how to handle dissent.
We'll notice that even at parliamentary level, we have about 41 independent MPs leaning to NRM. They are leaning to NRM because they were frustrated through the primaries. So I think as a party now, it's also time for them to reflect.
Victoria Bagaya, NBS Live at 9.
Thank you, Victoria. Moving on, political analysts say lack of a uniform voice and candidate from opposition during the election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker cost them a fortune which may haunt them for all their years in Parliament.
The speakership race that saw Chira municipality legislator Semjunganda Ibrahim stand and lose as a candidate exposed the lack of a uniform voice among opposition players who have for long vowed to unseat the sitting government. At the end of the vote tallying, Semjunganda had garnered 15 votes only. Even though this was a secret ballot, it is rather revealing that not all opposition MPs, especially from his party, actually voted him. For an opposition that will fight to have their bills passed, what could have gone wrong? Analysts point to disunity.
It is true, we in opposition, we were not speaking in one voice, just simply because our number is quite few. You know, when you are few, your impact is not great at all. Even if all the oppositions were to vote for Semujunganda or our candidates, automatically they were not going to make it.
Disunity, as pundits say, could have been the problem, but what could have caused it? In a build-up to the race, Jacob Olanya and Rebecca Kadaga teams started to form, and despite two candidates belonging to NRM party, they attracted players from both NRM and opposition, thus sidelining Semujunganda. While the NRM second caucus sat to decide on whom to back, these same processes weren't taking place in opposition.
There must be a process that generates an opposition candidate. Even within FDC, you should be able to ask yourself, did Semuju's candidature precede the decision of FDC to participate in this election?
I think our house needs to check itself and we need to put our house in order. Because if they voted Honorable Nsivambi, 119 all opposition, then I would say maybe for me they don't like me. But even when it came to Nsivambi, he only got some votes higher than me because his contest was not as cutthroat as mine. So therefore, our people must now account, the opposition must account. Where did we go when time came for us to account to the public? And I'm really shocked.
This lack of unity and a uniform voice, analysts say, will haunt them in the 11th Parliament during passing of bills and debating on policy if they don't deliberately work on it.
For everything, they must have the courage to take a position, and they must have the courage to convince their members to support their position.
So I think it will leave the opposition more bruised, more polarized, and I think it is going to brush, especially the new party in opposition with majority NUP, will probably have a very false start using these statistics from yesterday's election.
Working on unity inside Parliament would require constant caucusing and engaging different schools of thought. This perhaps would solve the problem, but there is another issue they will have to give attention. Those in opposition falling prey of President Museveni's poaching, something he revealed to the 11th Parliament during the voting of the Speaker. Kanar Mugume, NBS, Live at 9.
Feedback brought to you by ABSA.
Who's Abby?
Abby.
Bank on WhatsApp with Abby, your 24/7 digital personal banker. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
You're certainly watching NBS Live at 9, and I'm enjoying my pointer here. It's about that time when we know what you said. Have you said? Let's get to the question of the night. Suggest ways in which the NRM can work with the opposition for the good of Uganda. Suggesting ways in which the NRM can work with the opposition for the good of the country. Hashtag NBS Live at 9. Nzandi Stevenson Kato says,
there should be a platform of understanding where views from the opposition are respected by putting some in action, and also the president should get ministers from the opposition.
I think he's had some already. Yes. Let's get to somebody else. Victor Kagere Wahanda. There should be good communication from the leaders of both sides and respect for each other's opinion. Secondly, the government should look at the manifesto of the opposition and guide the it in policy or guide it in policy and service delivery unnecessary arrest of opposition members should be minimized. Unnecessary, maybe security would explain. But Yakuta Patrick is here as well.
Respect for the divergent alternative views on our policies and development agenda, and joining hands together in fighting corruption. I think corruption, that's a big topic. The president mentioned it yesterday. I hope that this new term will yield results.
He's been fighting it since 1986. Harrison Katumwa has been sent here. Let the government first release all the political prisoners. You can't dialogue when your hands are tied. I want to get this again. Let the government first release all political prisoners. You can't dialogue when your hands are tied. And
I think they released some today.
Yes, they did release some still to be released.
We could say baby steps. Is there hope now? Because at first they were not releasing any. They were coming to court and then being sent back. So now that we had some released today, I think we're making progress.
Yeah, progress is being made, but that's as much as I know. And maybe if we find out more, it will certainly be coming from the courts of law. This piece is a very interesting one. Where do you get some of these?
National Enterprise Corporation. So it's actually made in Uganda.
I'm enjoying it.
Now, moving on to other stories, political analysts have reacted to President Museveni's speech, in which he is quoted to have said that he has good working relations with members of political parties. They say the president's comments were meant to discredit the opposition in the eyes of Ugandans. This as the opposition defends itself from the allegations, saying they are open to dialogue only on matters of national importance.
The UPC, we talk very well. The DP, we talk very well. Even recently, I've been talking with some members of FDC. The ones who have been avoiding us have been the ones of NUP.
During President Museveni's speech at the swearing-in of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the President hinted that he has been in talks with some members of the opposition, comments which could have come as a surprise to many. But this is also a confirmation that some members of the opposition that have appeared to be anti-government during day are actually pro-government in the night. Political analyst Gerald Walulia weighs in on Museveni's revelation, saying it's not a public secret, especially for the UPC and FDC, after the president continued to poach and dine with members of these political parties.
I think he was speaking plain truth, because we are aware that he has been working, for instance, with the UPC, but there are also so many rumors surrounding DP and, of course, certain individuals within FDC. I don't believe that FDC as an institution has completely sold out to NRM, but there may be certain individuals who are privately working with the NRM.
Walulia says it's evident that Museveni is attempting to discredit the opposition to show Ugandans that even the opposition is speaking from the same bowl. But what explains the very vocal criticism towards government from the opposition?
Being loud against President Museveni and the NRM and being abusive, for instance, to him and his party is not a good measure of deciding who is a genuine opposition and who is not.
Why didn't he tell the nation exactly issues that they are talking about? And we would like to know those particular individuals.
My only interpretation is the platform where we talk. And indeed we talk in iPod, in the open.
Democratic Party President Norbert Mao has been among those accused of a retort dining with President Museveni. Mao says he has not interacted with Museveni beyond the inter-party organization of dialogue iPod, but even then, he's not afraid to face him.
There are those who actually fear talking with President Museveni. Some of them think that he carries out brain transplant, that when you go, he can akulio obwongo, eats your brain, such that you become either stupid or what. I don't know whether that is true.
Museveni did not shy away from the limited success he has had with Kyagulanyi's NUP. But NUP Deputy President for Buganda Region Matthias Mpuga says, as a party, they have not received any official invite to dialogue, but even then, their agenda as a party is on a collision path with that of government.
As NUP, we have no fear speaking to anybody, as long as the conversation is about the freedoms of our people, as long as the conversation is about the rule of law and the restoration of the rights of our people. That We can even speak to our enemies as long as there's a honest conversation.
Analysts have warned NUP not to celebrate too soon, saying the weak in the party may soon fall.
I know that he's not about to give up. He will keep pushing and persuading certain members within NUP to see that they can also come on his side. And in the end, this may continue to discredit certain members of the opposition within the public.
Victoria Bagaya, NBS, Live at 9.
Well, you're still watching NBS Live at 9. That was very quick, right?
Yes, very.
Later on, of course, we'll be speaking to Dr. Sabrina Chitaka on matters, Macquarie University Research and Innovation Fund. I had to be very innovative to get here. We'll see you after the break.
More to come, brought to you by
SafBuild. Order yours now. SafBuild, a quality building solution from Uganda Bati.
Coming up, court-martial releases 17 NUP suspects on bail. Eddie Mutwe and Nubian Lee returned to prison.
More to come, brought to you by
SafBuild. Order yours now. SafBuild, a quality building solution from Uganda Bati.
Do business with Airtel as a retailer. Register today as an authorized Airtel SIM-selling retailer free of charge.
Or call 0800 327 327 toll-free.
Specific business documents will be required for verification by the Airtel team, still free of charge. Feedback will be communicated within a maximum of 3 working days. Inquiries, applications and registrations and verification are all free of charge. For more information, call
0800 327 327 toll-free.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
NCBA. In chess, the small one can become the big one. It's the same here. And here too. Watch every move. Record every number so you can plan better. No matter the size of your dream, tomorrow's success belongs to those who keep today's records clean. File your returns today. Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
We've cut and reduced our MTN Momo withdrawal rates. Now you can withdraw mobile money at the lowest rates. You also get MTN Central Points when you deposit, send, and withdraw MTN mobile money. Visit our Momo agents countrywide and withdraw mobile money at our reduced rates from 1st May 2021. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Like every mom, you want the best for your child.
You make great sacrifices so that she can have what she needs to succeed.
Happy birthday.
You feed her mind and nurture her body. And you understand there are times you have to let her pick herself up when she falls. You make sure she knows the joy of sharing happy moments with family. And when everything comes together, you, above all others, will share the taste of success with her. Blue Band tastes like Mama's love.
Welcome to our new office. Wonderful sight. Just imagine 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where the parking is, and then the warehouse front door here, the reception here, and the fridges here. The lorry's entrance there, and their exit there. One way only. What is it?
So where is the building?
Fast, stress-free construction. Get your factory-made buildings in 12 weeks with SafBuild. Order yours now. SafBuild, a quality building solution from Uganda Bati.
Now more than ever should we care about our health. Lake Victoria Serena Golf Resort and Spa is offering a wellness weekend package to get you feeling better than ever. The package includes accommodation, healthy meals for breakfast, lunch and dinner. More still, it includes rejuvenating massages and a 2-day personalized wellness and fitness program. All this comes at $190 for single rooms and $225 for double rooms. Come for not just a fun weekend, but a wellness getaway at the Lake Victoria Serena Golf Resort and Spa.
Whoever you're doing it for, we'll help you get it done. Simply. That's Africanacity. That's APSA.
Welcome back. You're still watching Live at 9. Now in more stories tonight, Makindye General Court Martial has released 17 of the Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert aides who were arrested last year and are battling charges of unlawful possession of 4 rounds of ammunition. Lawyers to the accused pin the state of supporters and of withholding their supporters from accessing their lawyers.
Makindye General Court Martial sat at noon, and as soon as the 35 Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert aides entered the dock, court proceeded with hearing their bail application. State told court that they are done with reviewing bail application of 14 of the accused and asked for more time of up to 8th June 2021 to review the application of the remaining 18, which defense opposed.
I wrote for the remaining applicants. We are still in the process, my lord, of finalizing with scrutinizing the affidavits in reply. We pray for a short adjournment of up to 8th of June.
It is not therefore fair and also justiciable for one to argue that they are scrutinizing affidavits one by one and have only covered the numbers given.
After a 15 minutes adjournment, Court Martial Chairman Lieutenant General Andrew Guti told court that 17 applicants were eligible for bail.
This court finds merit in the application of the 14 applicants not objected by the respondent, plus the 4 applicants that need treatment. They are hereby granted bail.
Those granted bail out were given stringent conditions, including not moving beyond Kampala and Wakiso without informing court and to report to court every Wednesday after 14 days. They were released on a non-cash bond of 20 million shillings each and 50 million shillings non-cash to their sureties.
Breach of any of the above terms will lead to automatic cancellation of bail.
Lawyers to the accused were not satisfied with the reasons for denying bail to the 18 of their clients, whose hearing was postponed to 8 June 2021, citing intentions of bipolarization by the state. Story compiled by Josephine Namakombe for NBS Live at 9.
Now, it is in 2019 that Makerere University, with funding from government, did introduce a fund to support high-impact research and innovations that inform national development priorities. The objective of the Makerere University Research and Innovations Fund was to increase local generation of transferable research and scalable innovations to address gaps required to drive Uganda's development agenda. Now, tonight, we speak to Dr. Sabrina Chitaka. She is a member of Makerere University's Research and Innovation Fund Grants Management Committee, a mouthful there. Doc, thank you so much for joining us. How is the fund here in terms of how it came about?
Thank you so much for inviting us to be part of this newscast. And I appreciate that you picked up on the importance of the RIF. RIF is the Research and Innovation Grant, which, as you said correctly, is funded by Government of Uganda. How did it come about? There were high-level negotiations between Professor William Bazeyo. At that time, he was DVC Finance and Administration, as well as our own Vice Chancellor, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, who negotiated for a whopping 30 billion Ugandan shillings per year for Makerere researchers.
The last 2 financial years, how many projects have you funded and in what disciplines?
Various projects have been funded. To date, there are about 587 projects. That is through RIF 1, the first physical financial year, and then RIF 2, and also the COVID RIF and the needs-based projects. These are multidisciplinary projects from all colleges at the university, and they are looking at solutions for Uganda, especially unfunded priorities for Uganda. We look at projects that increase local generation of translatable research, but also scalable innovations. I'll give you examples. The Bulamu ventilator is looking towards providing a locally developed generator to treat patients with COVID-19. And then there have been other projects like the mathematical modeling that looked at how COVID-19 was going to spread out in our country. There's been value addition to sorghum and potatoes, and we know how sorghum and potatoes are a key food in our country. We've had projects from the College of Health Sciences. Today was our open day, and a lot of projects were shared. We are developing a biobank by Professor Moses Joloba. There's been telephone communication to patients with HIV. We've looked at ending sexual harassment among university students, particularly the girl child.
Makerere University is a mother university, but one would hope that even other universities could be brought on board. Is that going to happen? Or, in a sense, are you being selfish in a positive way?
Well, as you know, Makerere leads and others follow, but Makerere did negotiate for this grant. And out of this grant, we've had lessons learned Today, there is a national innovation fund that any researcher of good means is able to apply for. So the other universities are also able to compete for the National Innovation Fund.
Very interesting there. To what extent will this be a game changer as far as Makerere University is concerned and informing policy in the Pearl of Africa? Very briefly.
So Makerere is turning into a research-led university, and this is just the beginning of ensuring that Makerere becomes a research-led university. In 2019, there were just 400 publications in Makerere, but now we are talking about 1,500 publications, most of them coming out of the Research and Innovation Fund. And the innovations real, and they are for Ugandans. So we look to see Makerere researchers informing policy, ensuring that problems that are under-prioritized by other funding agencies are prioritized by the government of Uganda.
Thank you very much. I hope you're not researching and investigating on how to improve news anchoring in Uganda, because we already know Dr. Sabrina Chitaka there. Thank you very much, beaming with a smile. And of course, innovation is continuing to go on in Makerere University. Sheila, it's over to you.
Samson, now the Democratic Party says its flag bearer for the speakership race, Engineer Richard Sebamala, could have developed cold feet, a reason he missed out on the speakership ballot paper. Engineer Sebamala was a no-show at Kololo, leaving the race to FDC's Semuju Ibrahim Ganda, independent Rebecca Kadaga, and the eventual winner, NRM's Jacob Olanya.
On the 23rd of March 2021, the Democratic Party unveiled Engineer Richard Sebamala, the newly elected Bokoto Central Member of Parliament, as the party's flag bearer in the speakership race.
DP has a duty to support a candidate from DP.
Sebamala was, however, no-show on nomination day at Kololo ceremonial grounds, leading many to question what could have happened to the rookie legislator. According to the DP President General Norbert Mao, Sebamala developed cold feet as the polling date neared.
He sent us a message saying he decided to withdraw.
The party is still waiting for an official communication from Sebamala on why he withdrew from the race. Mao suspects the legislator from Masaka district could have succumbed to the pressure associated with the speakership race.
You saw the kind of environment in which the elections were held. I was personally surprised by how the mighty were falling.
Mao challenged Jacob Olanya, the newly elected Speaker of Parliament, to be objective and impartial in the conduct of his duties.
There need to be sensitive to the feelings of members. We need the Speaker to be objective and impartial. We need the Speaker to be approachable, to keep time, to have constructive engagement with the other branches.
Namajairen, Namutamba Esther, NBS, Live at 9.
NBS Television has been chosen as the most admired media brand in the country in a survey conducted by Brand Africa. The survey strived to recognize the top 100 brands in Africa. The brand and communications manager Next Media Services, Derek Ford Desire Mugumisa, says the award is a result of relentless sacrifices from all staff at the Naguru Hill-based media group.
The survey conducted between March and April 2021 that yielded over 80,000 brand mentions and over 3,500 unique brands saw NBS Television yet again announced the most admired media brand in Uganda.
A round of applause for NBS. These guys have come back again.
With a year defined by the COVID-19 pandemic that brought the world to a halt, with markets across the globe having to adapt to a new reality, NBS gained viewership through telling Ugandan and African stories.
Do an amazing job of telling stories, Ugandan story, and of marketing itself.
The reward, according to Desire Derrickford Mugumisa, the brand and communications manager Next Media Services, is a result of relentless input and efforts by all employees.
It is progress. It is yet another vote of confidence in the work that we keep doing. It is yet another vote of confidence in the fact that you do not do what everyone else is doing to become number one. You innovate, you change a couple of things, you take risks. And for me, this is an award that is for everyone that wakes up and puts in some work for NBS Television.
In his remarks made via Zoom, Morrison Rakakamba, the Uganda Investment Authority Board chairperson, noted that for brands to survive, they must be contributing to society, investing in training and resources, which NBS has proved to be consistent about.
Strategic partnerships, the government-to-government partnership, and managed to accentuate it across the globe. So I think Africa will need to collaborate, really use game theory, collaborate, while competing for the benefit.
Other companies awarded in the different categories included MTN Uganda, Airtel Uganda, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and Mukwano, among others. The 11th Annual Brands Africa 100 Awards were presented at a virtual event hosted by Brands Africa, Publix Africa, and the Uganda Investment Authority. Making NBS Television your station of choice is what makes us as a brand to win such an award of the most admired media brand in Uganda. And we can only pledge to continue bringing you balanced, accurate, and reliable information as we inform to transform. Alex Mugasha, NBS. Live at 9.
Congratulations to all the staff of Next Media Services. Now moving on, over 300 illegal slot machines were destroyed on Friday in Nakasongola district by the Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board. The board, mandated to regulate Uganda's gaming sector together with officials from Luwero Industries Limited, the Chief Magistrates Court, Mengo, and the Attorney General's Office, following a crackdown on illegal gaming operations across the country.
The chairman of the Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board, Aloysius Mugasa Adier, issued a stern warning to all illegal operators, saying that those who do not follow what is stipulated in the law will continue to have their equipment confiscated and destroyed.
We are happy that we are fulfilling one of our mandates to protect our citizens from harmful gaming. There are those unscrupulous people who import machinery and equipment and put it on the market when they are not licensed. These are harmful to our society, they are harmful to the punters, and they are a disincentive to the law-abiding operators. So we have destroyed them today and will continue to destroy them.
Triet Juliet Namuri, the acting chief executive officer, said the destruction operation is only the beginning of a series of measures that the board is undertaking as it exercises its mandate to protect Ugandans from the adverse effects of gaming, protecting those venues it has approved for operation and increasing the industry's contribution to the revenue collection.
Right now, majority of our players place bets in the land-based premises. But the way we are seeing the changes in technology, most of the players will be participating in the gaming activities online. For example, we recently procured the central monitoring system. This is a system that's going to help us collect data from the sector. We'll be able to make decisions based on that data that's collected. The system will be hooked onto the systems of the operators. So this means that we'll be able to know how much revenue is due to government as opposed to relying on information received from the operators. So it will be able to improve on compliance and responsible gaming as far as fair play is concerned.
Since its inception in 2016, the Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board has made strides in streamlining a previously unregulated sector towards compliance to the laws and regulations governing the gaming industry. More illegal equipment from other parts of the country is also said to be destroyed. The Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board, under Section 4 of the Lotteries and Gaming Act, is mandated to supervise all licensing enforcement and dispute resolution. Mordecai Morisa, Nadrayen Semuju, NBS, live at 9.
Raxio, a venture under the Roha Group, a U.S. investment company, has today officially launched Uganda's first private state-art Tier 3 carrier neutral data center at Namave Industrial and Business Park. The center is set to offer a wide variety of seamless data connectivity options to local and international fiber carriers, including communication companies and cloud services groups. We have more details in this report.
With a growth in data usage, storage and broader digital transformation in Uganda, this facility will be the centerpiece of infrastructure in supporting the economy of the country. In the news conference at their head offices in Namave, James Byaruhanga, the general manager Raxo Uganda, said that there will be an improvement in the stability of internet connectivity and possibly Ugandans will experience a drop in internet costs because the services are drawn closer to the local service providers.
The submarine cable providers being able to come in Uganda and be able to cross-connect with the local providers in Kampala means that the cost of transportation has been further reduced. Now, that kind of saving that the service provider can get can also be extended to the end user. So you find that the cost of your internet can easily drop.
Byaruhanga also noted that Raxo is looking forward to the positive impact of the facility across the enterprises with the small and medium enterprise markets, building an environment which will create opportunities for the youth to develop their innovations such as applications and software developments.
At the same time, is because we're catalyzing the industry, is that we are creating an opportunity for SMEs to be able to work with cloud providers who are in our facility and be able to actually grow their innovations. You know, Uganda is one of the highly innovative countries.
Robert Molin, the Chief Executive Officer at Raxo Uganda, stated that one of the reasons why they chose to invest in Uganda was the availability of the constant power supply and the dynamic telecommunications ecosystem.
I think fortunate that in Uganda you have these dams and power generation capability to provide the power that's necessary to run a data center. You see Uganda stands out from a connectivity perspective, right? So from a level of liberalization of the telecom sector, as we've mentioned earlier, there's 10 connectivity providers, fiber providers that are already connected into the data center. So you have a very kind of dynamic ecosystem, telecommunications ecosystem. And of course, a data center without connectivity is also not a data center, right?
Molin added that the facility will be the bedrock for increased economic development in Uganda, and it will attract several opportunities not only regionally but internationally. This will help drive economic growth, social development, and digital transformation across Africa.
Our starting point is to make sure that there's sufficient local demand initially to sustain the business operations.
The facility is in its first phase, and so far it has gained 70% of customer occupancy. Hakim Wampamba, Herbert Seriazi, NBS Live at 9.
When we come back from the break, we are going to be talking Bank of Uganda, but I can tell you the rate at which they are asking for this sanitizer on all my social media platforms. I'm about to auction it. People want the thing. Let's come back to Bank of Uganda.
Today tastes like a new tradition, like an old favorite. Tastes like all hands on deck and all eyes on the prize. Today tastes like a piece of the action. And it never tasted this good.
Even a person who is not registered for VAT may voluntarily use IFRIS to issue an e-receipt to take advantage of the benefits of IFRIS, including reliable record keeping, quick process of tax claims or refunds, fair tax price assessments, among others.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
It doesn't matter where we are.
We bring it wherever we go because space doesn't determine our expression. Our moments are golden, timeless, and enjoyed in Mpola. Because Mpola Enjoyments is about our crew, our vibe, and our beer. Mpola Enjoyments. It's a Bell Lager thing.
Protea Hotel by Marriott Kampala Skies, a clean and beautiful spectacular on top of Naguru Hill. A place to create amazing memories, fitted with luxurious rooms with a fantastic sense of space and great meals and cuisines from award-winning chefs.
Mirinda. Make the world go. Make the world go. Make the world go. Do, make, go, create.
Grab yourself an ice-cold bottle of Mirinda Orange at any shop or supermarket near you. Mirinda Orange, the taste that makes you go ORNG.
Introducing Glovo, the app that delivers anything you want. When you're missing the right ingredient for your wonderful meal, order Glovo and wow the ones you love. Download the Glovo app today, and when you need anything, order Glovo and we'll deliver it in minutes.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Who could handle all the madness in this?
It's your friends.
I want to say that I appreciate you guys so much.
Wow! Your passion.
This is your fault.
Your romance.
Cheers.
Your drama.
I invited VIPs, not gossips.
Your heroes. It's your moment with your stories. Made at home for your home. 'Cause great stories start on DSTV.
Do business with Airtel as a retailer. Register today as an authorized Airtel SIM selling retailer free of charge.
Or call 0800 327 327 toll free.
Specific business documents will be required for verification by the Airtel team, still free of charge. Feedback will be communicated within a maximum of 3 working days. Inquiries, applications and registrations and verification are all free of charge. For more information, call
0800 327 327 toll free.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
It's great here in paradise. Not too much going on, though. What have we here? An Eve. Hello there, little bird of paradise.
A real gentleman wouldn't whistle at naked ladies. Who are you, anyway?
Adam's the name. Might I seduce you with a Red Bull?
Red Bull? Aren't you supposed to use a serpent for that?
Not necessarily. Red Bull is the energy drink that gives you wings.
Okay, I'm easily tempted, but surely we can't fly out of paradise.
Come on, I'll show you paradise.
Ooh.
Let's get into business, where the Bank of Uganda has taken over the licensing and regulation of mobile money platforms from Uganda Communications Commission. It does follow the enactment of the National Payment Systems Act, which gives the bank the mandate to regulate the financial technologies sector. Nabakoza Lydia is reporting.
Mobile money is now part and parcel of everyday life in Uganda. In fact, mobile money platforms have been able to break boundaries that commercial banks for long struggled to penetrate, enabling the rural poor to engage in some of the non-cash transactions. Mobile money transactions hit 80 trillion shillings in 2020. With this increase in use, the services have become prone to fraud and system failures. A lack of clear license criteria led to the enactment of the National Payment Systems Act in 2020. Going forward, mobile money services will be separated from other services provided by telecommunication companies and regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission. Telecommunications are now required to incorporate separate companies to offer mobile money that will be supervised and regulated by the central bank. The first licenses were given out to MTN and Airtel over the weekend. The MTN platform will be run by MTN Mobile Money Uganda. Airtel Money will be now provided by Airtel Mobile Commerce Uganda.
This is a continuing operation. We've reorganized ourselves into separate entities, and we look forward to more innovation under this framework, the National Payment System, more innovation in the market, not only from us, but other actors and partners.
According to Stephen Motana, the head of mobile money services at MTN, the regulation was long overdue.
Ensure that there are availabilities of float, making sure that they are well aware of issues to do with the market and to do with serving the customer, and of course consumer protection.
The license received by MTN Mobile Money Uganda will also not affect the current operations of the platform.
We see more choice for customers. There will be lots of innovation. As I mentioned, innovation in the areas of agriculture, in the areas of payments, in the areas of remittances.
Dr. Fred Muhumza from Macquarie University says the central bank's regulation will attract innovations and fair pricing on the platform.
We are increasingly seeing payments that are based on not the cash. So it was important for the central bank to come in at this point in time and try to regain control and also issue regulations and guidelines that would minimize the risk. Even now, people have lost money through Bitcoin, all sorts of things. So the financial sector innovations are coming up, and they can come with lots of risks.
He, however, cautions the banking sector to be innovative to compete with fintech innovators.
So I can move my money into a bank account, I can move my money into a mobile money platform, depending on my needs of the day. Now, these individuals have got to come up and say, how do we target these moving people? Because for us, we are looking for convenience, we're looking for safety and security.
In a statement on Friday, Bank of Uganda Governor Professor Emmanuel Mutebire said the central bank had also licensed Wave Transfer Limited to operate under the regulatory sandbox, which will provide a layer between banks and their innovations to facilitate collaboration between fintechs and the banking sector. Nabakoza Lydia, NBS, Live at 9.
There's a lot being said even before the next show begins. I'll tell you a bit of that when we finish with this. In the Stambik Uganda Cup, Ronald Sechilanda has scored a late equalizer to ensure that Sports Club Villa Jogosalongo takes a point from St. Mary's Stadium in their quarter-final first leg against Viper. Bino binagwa.
Villa put in a spirited fight to grind a result against rivals Vipers in the Uganda Cup. Having failed twice against the Venoms in the Star Times Uganda Premier League, the Jogos needed to utilize the Uganda Cup to restore their pride. Fred Kadaga'S hosts controlled the tempo but were contained by the visitors until later in the 80th minute when substitute Lawrence Tezicha put them ahead. Within the 5th minute of added time, Francis Olaki swung the ball in as Ronald Sechiranda rose highest to pull Edward Kaziba's side level and ensure that they took a point and an away goal advantage from Chitende. Kaziba left impressed while his opposite number Kadroba rode missed chances.
They played well, except I think they were tired a bit. But I think we shall come back on time leg and do win.
Much as we have played and drawn, there's quite a lot of things we have to improve on. But good enough, there's a lot of time, so we're going to settle down and...
The return leg will be next week at the Bombo Military Barracks. Tomorrow, KCCA FC takes on Express in the other quarter-final as both camps look to take the first leg advantage.
Must win. When you want to qualify, must win.
Express has been in a good form than us, but we know we like this trophy so much. All our hopes are in this trophy. We need to go all out. We need to go and play well and to get a point at least over there, or points.
Rita Tugumisirize, Gracelyn Simbabazi, NBS, Live at 9.
Are you a company looking to grow your fleet or simply need a car to get you from point A to point B? Think Intercar, rentals, operational leases, and driver services. With our large fleet of luxury and ordinary cars, you have your pick. And speaking of pick, why not have us do that for you with our 24-hour airport transfer service and 24-hour standby driver and vehicle. Over 500 successful pickups a year and 1,000 satisfied passengers. Intercar Uganda, at your service.
Insurance Moment, brought to you by Prudential. Let's face life together. Tuli nawe.
You can't live that life of those things of I don't need life insurance. I come from a long line of survivors. Come on. You need to move to a choice that is going to guarantee the happiness and financial future of you and your loved ones. DJ Muzara, speak to Prudential.
We are Prudential. Our values mean a lot.
Prudential. Let's face life together. Tuli nawe.
Introducing Glovo, the app that delivers anything you want. When the game is hot, but you've run out of drinks, order Glovo and be the toast of your friends. Download the Glovo app today, and when you need anything, order Glovo and we'll deliver it in minutes.